When Kamala Harris wins, I'm gonna get pregnant and then have like 50 abortions.
50 abortions. That makes her a mass murderer. She's got Ted Bundy beat at 36 confessed murders and Jeffrey Dahmer at 17. It's sickening how the left is proud to have an abortion. They're excited about it. They are so sick and twisted. It is a badge of honor for them.
If it's a human being, shouldn't a human being...
It's not a human being. It's a clump of cells.
You're a clump of cells too, biatch.
What species is the fetus?
It can be a human fetus, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, let's make this better.
Okay, wait, if it's a human fetus, then doesn't it get human rights?
It's not a human yet.
But you said it's a human. At what point?
It's a human fetus. That is a different thing.
At what point does it magically become a human?
When it can survive outside of the womb. That's when I personally believe.
So viability. So a baby born in NICU that requires assistance from a dialysis machine or breathing machine, is that a human being?
Sure, yeah.
But I thought you said it can't survive on its own outside of the womb.
That is a different thing.
No.
That is a different thing.
Oh, it's not. The point is
Hey. What I said was...
Final question. Final question. If a mom finds out she's having a Down syndrome baby, should she be allowed to terminate it?
Yes.
What the This is the face of evil. I have a Down syndrome uncle, and that dude is the life of the friggin' party. For someone to just say, you can just kill a baby because they have Down syndrome, it can't be anything else but evil. Leave a comment down below. Do you know someone Down syndrome in your life? It could be family, it could be a friend. Of course, they deserve to live just as much as me or you.
If a mom finds out she's having a Down syndrome baby, should she be allowed to terminate it?
Yes.
You see, we have disagreement. I think Down syndrome kids are a gift from the Lord. Thank you very much for your question. We obviously don't agree.
The biggest abortion argument is always about viability. When does a fetus become viable? Is it at the moment of conception? Is it at 9 months? I love Bill Burr's analogy of baking a cake.
Pro-choice people are like, well, it's not a life yet. It's not a baby yet. If you do, I don't know what they say. Before you do it the first Thursday or the last Tuesday and you spin around one time, they dance between the raindrops. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch.
So this clip is from Kristen Hawkins. She's the president of Students for Life of America.
I just want to read you this poster that I have because I hear a lot of pro-lifers say that life begins at conception.
And I have to read off of a poster because I can't remember one paragraph of what I'm going to say.
My poster reads, life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies.
Oh, I like how they're acting like the mic just dropped, like she said something profound. Now, I do agree to a certain extent, if the baby's birth is going to put the mother's life in jeopardy, that's one thing. But just using abortion as a form of birth control doesn't cut it.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus.
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it, because...
Because her head is full of air.
It's living. It's living.
How about you let her speak?
You're fundamentally denying science
Guys, let her speak. She has nothing to say.
to validate your opinion.
You actively deny science, ma'am.
How am I denying? What science did I deny, Darby?
Okay.
Okay, I need to go to the peanut gallery, guys. Help me out.
So let's look at some posters over here.
Oh, I need to look at some more posters, guys.
What science did I deny?
That it's a child inside of you. It is a clump of cells when
I'm a clump of cells. What makes me different?
Wow, they love this clump of cells argument, huh?
That you were born. You were born.
So you don't. What you're arguing is that anything that is not born is not valuable of life.
I did not say that.
It's subjective. So when does a child or fetus or clump of cells, whatever you want to call it, when does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain its own life.
But when is that? When is the sustainability? No, when is sustainability?
21? About like 30 weeks to
It's generally 24 weeks. 24 weeks is the answer we're looking for.
I do have one thing to say to you. How is it that when my mom was in college 30 years ago, she was protesting the exact same thing that...
And if she had gotten an abortion, you would not be here, ya bitch. On behalf of redheads everywhere, and I don't know if she's a natural redhead, but if she is, I apologize for her and I disown her from the ginger community.
Why are we still protesting? Why are we still having to talk about this issue? It is a basic human right to have an abortion, to have a choice.
The reason we're still having the question is because some people don't want to accept the natural consequences of heterosexual sex and be inconvenienced by another human life, and want to selfishly choose to end human life in order to have their whims met.
Your body, your choice.
Tonight, dozens gathered to fight for abortion rights in Arizona, a handful taking the stand to bring their stories to light.
I want to do my part to kind of spread the word and kind of normalize abortions.
Beth, who only wanted to give her first name, says she had an abortion more than a decade ago.
I was 25, I wasn't in a healthy relationship, and I always knew that I didn't want to be a mom. So when I found out I was pregnant, the only choice I saw was getting an abortion.
The only choice at 25 that this woman had was an abortion. Have you heard of a mother condom? A man and a woman decided to have sex, which could result in pregnancy. The choice was made. Protection was not used. There were 1,000 decisions that could have been taken instead of abortion.
Different stories from people who collectively say they are glad they had a choice.
When there was a failure in my birth control with my long-term partner and I found out I was pregnant, I was devastated. It was a very scary time for me, and I felt like I had nowhere to go that felt safe, and I could not provide for that child.
In Arizona, Attorney General Mark Brnovich wants to enforce a century-old law that bans all abortions unless the mother's life is at risk.
My feelings, I'm afraid, I'm scared. I worry about what this will mean for people who can't get out of unhealthy relationships, who are stuck, who for medical...
Here's a thought. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, stop spreading your legs for that guy, or get out of this relationship in the first place. There's no way this video is getting monetized, so if you want to support the channel and enter a giveaway for an AR-15, you can pick up some merchandise from the Conservative Vibe store, everything made in the USA, like this anti-woke yard sign where it says, "We believe abortion is not birth control." Also available in red, white, and blue text. An LGBT sticker, Liberty Guns, Beer, and Trump, or one of the best-selling We Will Not Fall t-shirts. Every dollar spent is an entry into our AR-15 giveaway. If you don't want the rifle, you can get $500 in cash. For a free entry, just subscribe to our newsletter down here at the bottom of the page. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Conservative Vibes. I'm CV, and I'll see you in the next video.